Have you ever felt as though your fears and the things that you don't want manifest way more or way easier than your actual desires? Have you ever had that moment where you've gone, wow, if only my desires manifested like this? If so, this video is for you. I've got you. And so many of my clients feel this way. And then we start working together and this really shifts and changes. So watch to the end of this video because I'm going to break down why this is happening. When you understand why, when you have that clarity, you will automatically be able to start shifting this right away. And also, hi everyone, it is I, Pamela, aka the Awakened Aphrodite. I am here to help you explode your bank account and your love life by helping you become truly powerful, stepping into knowing yourself as the creator. And when you really get this, and then you learn how to apply this to love and money, you have the unfair advantage and you really can have whatever you want. In fact, this is what I've been helping people do for over a decade, helping people make millions of dollars, helping them have the ex come back or a new person come in or radically transform their relationship into something that is completely unbelievable in the best of ways. And you really do get to live a dream life. I'm here to help you do that. If you want to work with me one-on-one, go to theawakenedaphrodite.com. And if you are wanting to join the mastermind, we begin next week, the Worshipped and Wealthy Mastermind. Send me an email, Pamela@theawakenedaphrodite.com, or DM me on Instagram @theawakenedaphrodite. And it is going to change your life. People, they look different after 6 months together. And this is deep one-on-one work in a group setting. Okay, so let's dive into this. Oh my goodness. This feeling like, yeah, if only my desires manifested the way that my fears do, or the thing I don't want does. And feeling like you need to have 100,000 positive thoughts to one negative, maybe. Comment down below if you've ever felt this way, because I think it's really going to also help other people not feel so alone in this. And that community piece is really helpful. So let people know, have you ever felt this way? And that feeling like, I used to feel this way all the time. One of my negative thoughts was so powerful in comparison to my good thoughts. Now, for me personally, that was true in my experience. Now, this does not have to be true. You get to shift this right here, right now, okay? Even comment down below, I'm shifting this right here, right now. That felt really true for me because of old pain, trauma, heartache that really packed such an emotional punch, right? So in love, if a fear came up, it wasn't kind of a fear. It was this fear that felt like it would take over my whole body. Who's felt this way before? And then a good thought, it felt like a whisper, like a hope, like a wish that maybe somewhere, somehow would come into fruition. And this is where, for example, you hear Neville Goddard having spoken of how how you're feeling is the secret. Feeling is the secret. And I don't necessarily subscribe to your feeling being the only thing. I mean, come on, we all know that there's people who get things that never felt the thing. I've gotten plenty of stuff that I've never fully felt. Yeah. I'm sure you have too. Comment down below if this is true. And it is also true that who you are being is what actually manifests. So when you're being the person who is overtaken by negative thought and emotion, then that's what you're going to experience. Who can't control their thoughts, their feelings, their emotions, that doesn't have, for example, emotional intelligence. And you guys, you must have emotional intelligence if you want to be a master manifester. You absolutely must. Now, what does that mean? It means not getting overtaken by your emotions and instead being able to hold them, not make them mean anything, shift them, let them go, while equally really knowing who you are. You don't want to be informed by your emotions because your emotions are coming from the past. So if you are being informed by your emotions, by your fears in any way, shape, or form, that is why this is happening. So how do we shift this? Well, the how can look a variety of different ways. And if this is something that you desire support with, please know this is so much of what we do inside of my one-on-one work, inside of the mastermind, hands-on, tangibly, me right there with you. And right here, right now, you've really first got to understand that the reason why you're not doing this is because your desires exist in the unknown. That in some way, shape, or form, you've become addicted to this comfort, even if it feels uncomfortable, of the known. That it's become this deeply formed habit for you to just think that way. So for example, if we're talking about relationships, no one wants to be with me, or they're not faithful, or I'm not ever the chosen one. That's become this almost addictive habit. Or there's always more to pay for. Like I get more money and it's like in one hand, out the other, right? You've almost become addicted to this way of being. Now, if you want to talk logical, literal, which I think can sometimes be supportive, and one of the things that I really like to do in my work is show people the logical and the literal, and then we move into it not having to be logical or literal in terms of what we create together, right? And if we're looking at this logically and literally, you can see this through neural pathways, right? Through the creation of new neural pathways. If you have these neural pathways that are deeply formed, right, that you've been using like a muscle your entire life, it's going to actually feel more uncomfortable to think and feel differently. And in that discomfort is where people don't continue, right? Or they're not seeing the result right away, so they don't continue. But here's the thing. You're going to need a lot of input for certain things. Now, this does not have to be true. You can blow on something and it like completely transforms, okay? I just want to more so break it down for you, okay? In terms of how I've seen it play out. When someone has a lot of stuff attached to a lot of emotional charge, for example, or a lot of trauma attached to a thing, it can feel like it takes a lot more energy and force to actually shift that thing. That does not have to be true, by the way. Again, I repeat. When you really get good at this, you don't need a lot of energy or force to change anything. And yet, if you're earlier in this sort of journey, it might feel that way. And it's going to feel that way until it doesn't. So let me give you an example, okay? You have been squatting, okay, for 10 years. You don't do any other exercise. You just, for some reason, you've decided to go to the gym and only squat, do squats, weighted squats, and leave. That's it, okay? For whatever reason, you're like, okay, I just want to build my glutes. That's not how you build your glutes. I mean, you can. It's better than doing nothing. But that's not the optimal way. But for whatever reason, this is what you do. One exercise, squatting, okay, for 10 years. Well, you decide here and now to start taking this seriously. You're like, okay, I know that this is better than nothing, what I've been doing on my own. And actually, I want to take this really seriously, and I recognize that I want help. So you have a professional helping you, right? In this case, if you're hiring me, then it would be me, right? And we look at, oh my goodness, you've actually not been squatting the right way even. You've been squatting in this way that's been hurting your lower back, where the majority of the weight has been going into your lower back versus optimizing your glutes, versus engaging your core, aka the new way of being, right? The old way of being. Well, every single time you squat, it is going to probably feel uncomfortable, right? Having me there, for example, or having in this example, the personal trainer there going, engage your core, right? Activate these muscles. That's going to feel wildly uncomfortable. That's not going to feel remotely natural for you. And these overused muscles that were not the correct muscles to be engaging in the past, that might come into when you now start doing lunges, for example. And so you're going to have to shift it there too. It's going to feel really uncomfortable. But here's the thing, once you get it down in one area, once you really get it down, once you really figure it out, once you've really practiced, you can do an exercise that you've never even heard of. You can start doing something like pistol squats, which are really difficult. And by this time, you've built up that deeper strength that it doesn't take you as long to get into really knowing how to do a pistol squat well versus what it would have taken you at the beginning, right? And so again, it does not have to look this way. You literally can decide and your whole world shifts, okay? Without any sort of energy or effort. And what I find is because we are having a human experience, our brains can tend to think and move in these logical, literal ways. And if you're finding that this is happening for you, I'd much rather have you keep going and see it in this kind of logical, literal way that maybe takes a little bit longer, but gets you the result than have you go, this doesn't work, I give up. Because when you learn to be stronger in what you desire, emotionally stronger, better at cultivating the sensations, the visualizations of your desires than your fears, this is where the wheel turns in your favor. Remember, fear is false evidence appearing real. And when you shift this, your entire world changes. This is where you start having instant manifestations with money. Money getting deposited in your bank account, you don't even know where it's from. Okay? Getting refunds for things that you've bought. Someone that you were dating completely doing a turnaround and not even remembering the argument that you had. And just saying, I love you. Oh my God, I've really realized you're my one. I can't live without you. In this way that feels mind-blowing. In this way that stretches your mind and your imagination. And if this is something that you want help with, you know I'm here. Also, make sure you get on my waiting list, or my mailing list, rather. Go to theawakenedaphrodite.com, and if you scroll to the bottom, there will be an option to join. If you've ever bought anything from me, you should be on my mailing list. And this work is going to change your life forever, 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 forever. And the kind of wealth that you desire is yours. The kind of love that you desire is yours. And it's up to you to go all in. If you want big results, you've got to go all in. And I'm so excited for you. Keep going. You've got this. And I'm here if you desire that deeper one-on-one support. Email me, Pamela, at theawakenedaphrodite.com. Follow me on Instagram, TikTok, all the things. And whether it's day or night, you know, I love you. I love you. I love you. Thank you so much for watching, commenting, liking, subscribing. And I will see you very, very soon.